So welcome to my presentation in this session. And we hear also already that AI, it's a hot topic and it's not so easy also to bring it into the industry. It's about a lot of explanation, and I really want to focus also in the presentation on this topic. And I have a special use case where we are using AI for shift planning. And here it's really important, and that was also a really strong statement from workers in this company, that it's, with the solution and smart algorithm, we can increase the transparency and the fairness of the shift planning. And my name is Thomas Freudenmann. I'm from EDI, Engineering Data Intelligence. So the name is program. We like semantically link the data and provide AI-based decision models to support production processes, but also administrative processes, what we are doing in this case together with Blanc and Fischer. So this is a company here also located in Germany, and they provide stuff for the kitchen. I will show it in the next slides. And this use case, we work together in a big project. It's a lighthouse project here in Karlsruhe, so also EDI is from Karlsruhe. And here the aim of the project CARL, is with many partners that we analyze how artificial intelligence will change the working life, but also how people and employees can learn together with artificial intelligence. And it's a founded project from the German government. If I switch to the next slide, here you can see the use case. So Blanc and Fischer are producing this kind of things for the kitchen. So to have here a really high quality product, the workers really have to be careful in putting in the material and putting out the material. And you can imagine this kind of things are really big parts and heavy. So also the size and colors of these parts are different. So if a worker has to do always the big one, the luxurious one, then it's another story. So it can have up to 25 kilograms where you have to lift every half an hour out of the machine. So that's not a really easy task. And other thing is also it's big, so you need a lot of space in your production. And also if you are working around, the quality of the product goes down. So also here efficiency of route planning in the production, it's really important for the quality reasons. So that means, so we have a combination of increase the fairness for the workers, but also to increase and have a sustainable product quality. So, and how we work on this, it's as I mentioned, we are working together here in the project CARL. And the project CARL, it's a lighthouse topic from Karlsruhe with a lot of different companies inside. So we have here the German Automobile Club, AIxIA inside, where it's really also administrative process topic with for the travel planning. So also EDI, it's included in this project. But also we have for robotics, for example, Artimines in this project also involved, but also many research partners which have also a scientific focus on it from Fraunhofer and from the Hochschule in Karlsruhe, so from the Applied Science School. And also we are working in different sectors and industries. On the one hand, we are focusing also on the mobility solution, autonomous driving, and also about how we can transfer knowledge intensive services, what we have, for example, also in AIxIA, but also in the manufacturing industry. For example, we are also looking to the processes in the production, like with Blanc and Fischer, what I want to introduce today more in detail. But I also mentioned the new employees and also the people which are already in the processes working. We have to introduce the solutions of artificial intelligence, and we have to communicate how these things can help you in the process. We as a company, as EDI, we are data-driven business development. We are doing data-driven business developments. So what does it mean? And here also I can say now EDI is 7 years old, and here we have the biggest learning. In the beginning, we were typical, I would say, IT nerds, and we have some smart data scientists in our company. So we were looking really to the use case if we can solve it. But at the end, we had nice results, but there was no really business value for our customer, because maybe the AI solution was not bad, but it not really support a process. One easy example, a lot of people are talking about predictive maintenance, but if you make a prediction for a part which fails every 8 years, and already the worker can hear it 1 or 2 months before that this thing happens, if he is standing in front of the machine, there is no business case behind which anyone want to pay. So for us, it was really important to establish this EDI Scrum 2.0 development process, where we also have a really important part about this business development. So there's one buzzword is about design thinking, that you have to understand this your customer together, as also the speaker before me also mentioned. You have to find the right words. You have to understand what is really the need of the customer, but also what kind of data he already have available, in which kind of systems he is working. Because if you keep this all in mind, so with the design thinking, with the feature requirement engineering, you get a system which at the end fulfill a specific use case, but also which already have a benefit. And this is why we put also on the head of the slide that we promise a fast return on invest, not because we are cheap in doing this, but we can say this because we are really focusing in the beginning to find the first product version which really makes a benefit, so that also the customer get more a better product quality, so that he get money out of here, or he can increase the efficiency of the work, so also he can save money, or he can sell this as a digital service to their customer, and then for sure he also get money back. And the important thing is, and also I think that was the question also in the audience before, that you have to find a starting point, and then you have to establish and increase the services step by step, because then you already generate some benefit, and then it's also easier to invest in further services. So this EDI Scrum development process we are really following in all the industry projects, but also, for example, with Blanc Fischer in these founded projects. Important step in this design thinking workshop, and also the speaker before already mentioned it, you have to understand what is the customer needs. We are doing this in 2-hour workshops. We really identify in 2-3 hours the most important things about the processes and so on, so that we have a good starting point. We also have some generic data analytic tools in our environment available, that we really fast can understand if everything are working in the right way. But also important thing, and here also we have a special way to document and to communicate to our customers. It's our storyboard. So it's a comic where we include the information about which kind of users we want to focus on with this system. So that's a persona, but also what are the pain points of these users, and what is the job to be done of the different users which should provide this kind of solution. So if you understand about software development, this kind of buzzwords, persona definition, pain point, pleasure points definition, job to be done definitions, these are the way how you can develop a proper software solution. But it's the same thing also if you think about AI-based software solutions. The important thing is here that you also have to keep in mind that the data have to be involved in this process. And also here you need a robust data providing, so the data have to come into the operational system in a robust way and so on. And also what you have to understand is that people which are working since 30 or 40 years in front of a process, they have a lot of, I will say, process knowledge in his mind. And we also from EDI have a patented solution to formalize this expert knowledge, because we are believing in that only if you are using the expert knowledge and you pre-calibrate with this expert knowledge also the machine learning algorithm and combine different machine learning algorithm, you have the possibility to really make a transparent AI and also accepted AI, because if we could quantify the gut feeling of the expert which is working since 30 years in front of this process of this machine, then I think we reach the biggest aim, because then also he can introduce it to his colleagues, to his partners in the company, and then it's much easier also to establish this kind of AI-based solution. And also in EDI, we are using neural networks for image recognition, for example, for technical drawing, but also there are a lot of other machine learning algorithms, which also it's sometimes easier to keep the transparency, which is really important in establishing an AI-based solution in the business process, so that the people understand what the algorithms are doing and what is also the design space of the algorithm. What kind of technology stack we are using in this project, but also in other industry projects, and also this helps us to really be are fast in the whole process. So we are also since a long time partners of the eHub, and we are really living the platform ecosystem. So we also have a framework, so that's the solution for our customer. We can couple this framework to the IT infrastructure of our customer. We can transfer with standard interfaces different data into the environment where we can use in a scalable way different AI-based algorithm. But also we have the possibility that we can run in the back end of a IT infrastructure, and we can provide the smart solution in other already in the job to be done established software solutions. So for example, also with Blanc Fischer, we are working with SAP together because this is the MES system, the manufacturing execution system, which Blanc Fischer is using. So the important thing is not to have 100 different applications. The important thing is that the problem of the customer is solved, and where and with which kind of front end it's running, that's not the important thing. Other thing what also from EDI we provide is that we have a really strong monitoring system. So we now 24 hours, 7 days in the week that our systems are online. So that was also a big learning from our side, that this is really important. So especially we are also monitoring for example, elderly people in supporting living houses. So here it's important that we know that our systems are working. And as I mentioned, we can run in different environments. The important thing is we have to run in the environment which the customer wants to have. And we are open source based. So that means our solution the customer can also use as a software development kit, and can also make or build it further if he wants. So I think that's also an important thing if you think about how to establish the AI-based solution in a company, that the customer itself can also develop it further. And we can exchange, as I mentioned, in different other environments. So that is one of our solutions. We also have a patented solution to make data in a fast way available with our so we have a buzzword called Google for measurement data, for companies data. That is, for example, also what we are using in the AIxIA use case, that we really can provide the right information to the right time to the people which are working with the system. So that's our Google for company data AI, or it's also a patented solution which we are using here. And that's also helpful because you have a lot of information and you have to find out where is the right one. So now I want to go quickly to the implementation for our special use case from Blanc and Fischer, which we have in this CAL project. I already mentioned that we are drawing this kind of storyboards. Here, that's a typical worker at Blanc and Fischer, and he has to adjust the production line, but as well, he has also to make the shift planning parallel. And for sure, you can understand that's a stressful job because suddenly a machine fails out, you have to reorganize your people, but also in the morning, maybe some of the customers are sick, it's not coming. So you have to keep all these things in mind. You are responsible that the quality is the right one and also that the people are happy. So that's a really all of what I said about the persona definition, the pain points, and also the job to be done, which this person in Blanc and Fischer has to do. And we are in the project with these other partners. Also, Adesso is here working with us together, but also from the Applied Science University, we get support here. It's that we provide different information from the SAP system, but also from self-generated Excel tables in a way that he just have to approve. We make some suggestions what he should do as a next step to reach the right product quality and to make his workers in this shift planning happy. And that's exactly where we are working on. And again, to understand, there's already a huge database and a huge system in charge. In this case, it's from SAP. For digital manufacturing cloud, which has really access also to the machines. So also the ordering management, it's running over this system. So for us, it's totally clear that our solution has to be integrated in this environment, because otherwise it will not work if we not exchange the data where the data are and not provide the information in the tools which the worker already knows. So again, what we are doing here also with the partners on the one hand, and also here we can use our patented solution from EDI, it's to gather the expert knowledge about the production, how you can increase the quality, but also how you have to plan the personal things. For example, also about the capability and skills of each person you have to keep in mind. We are using historical data so that it also gets transparent and fair what people were doing in the last shift, in the last week, in the last months, and so on. But also that's really important also to react in a short time on new situations. And this is I will say, optimization problem, which we also want to address. It's the route optimization, but also really important, and I think that's also what the speaker before mentioned. It's that you also keep the feedback of the people for what you provide the AI-based solution, that you keep this feedback in mind. Yeah, so thank you. That was my presentation about the project CAL, about the use case with the shift planning, and that it's important to understand the customer needs, to understand how you have to integrate. And if you are interested in the approach and in our technology, please contact us. And now I'm happy for free for questions.
Many thanks, Thomas, for your comprehensive insight and presentation. Dear audience, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put it in the question box or chat box. Meanwhile, I have a question, actually, Thomas. Most of SMEs, due statistics, are not or don't have any experience with AI. So they have specific problems which have to be solved by technologies, whatever it is. So what is your recommendation for a company which is not like really adapter and using edge-cutting technologies just in the beginning to deal with new technologies, to find like the right setting to solve their problems? What is your...
Yeah, so on the one hand, I think it's really important if we talk to SMEs, in many cases, we are not talking about artificial intelligence, because this is a buzzword which a lot of people understand a lot of different things. So I think talking about digitalization, it's one possibility. Talking about smart algorithm, it's the other thing, because also you have to understand in the production line, since many years there are really smart control systems available, some also with neural networks, but that's not always the case to have a really artificial intelligence system. So the first thing is not talking about the machine learning tools and about artificial intelligence, talking about a solution which is needed and which kind of data are available. Then you can decide as a company, we as an expert, how we can solve the problem of this company. So that's the first thing which I recommend to the companies. Also, one other thing is I understand also that SMEs want to get more in touch with this kind of solutions, and I think that's also good. But also there is I will say a critical thing. So there are smaller SMEs which are thinking if they hire one data scientist, then all the problems are solved. As I mentioned, to work with algorithm, it's a really small part to make a data-driven business happen. So that means you need a lot of things around that this smart algorithm has a good, so we call this engine. You need a chassis around where this engine can run stable and in a proper way. And also you have to understand really what kind of data you have to throw in and what you get out, and to prepare the data in the right way. There are a lot of studies which are showing that this makes 80% of the whole work of a data scientist or data engineer. So for my recommendation is, it's good if the company think about digitalization, think about that it's not only a topic of a data scientist, it's a topic of organization. And then for us, it's also, if we come to companies which have this mindset, it's really easy to work together. If we come to companies where one guy has to solve all the problems, sometimes it's hard because this guy is struggling since many months with the problem. And then if a company is coming and saying, yeah, we have maybe some solution, and it's not always good. So my recommendation is build up a department which have access to different parts of the company, so that also this whole process from the marketing, from the sales, from all this perspective have to be integrated in such a solution.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Thomas. And we have a question from the audience, from Darko. Thanks for the great talk. Thank you, Thomas. And can you name a percentage how many companies are ready for AI, and how many need digitalization, like the prerequisites first? Either maybe a difference between European Union and US or Asia. What is your opinion on it?
Okay, so one thing is, so that's really also the topic in the project Karl. So Fraunhofer EASY, so also located here in Karlsruhe, has this as a big work package, AI readiness. So all the people which are really interested in this study and what they have to do, and also check their readiness by themselves, they should also come to the Karl project and contact me or the Fraunhofer EASY contact from the Karl project. In my opinion, in my feeling, I will say there is a big gap. So there are companies which are saying we are far away, but they are closer to using smart algorithm in their production line because the data are already available and so on. So they are closer than they believe. And there's another part of company which have, for example, one data scientist in charge, and they are thinking we're doing a lot with artificial intelligence, but for the business they are also not really ready. Yeah, so that it's working in the product or in the operational way. So I will say companies which are really ready for using smart algorithm to get the data in the process, to use it really, I can say maybe under 20%, I will say. So there's a lot of steps to go. And to the other things, I also can say, so a lot of people are afraid that China, US are far ahead of artificial intelligence topics. I can really say in the production line, there is a big difference. So in the production, you need this expert knowledge. If you look to a welding process, it's really hard to understand when a welding it's good or not good. When a shift planning, in my use case, it's good or not good. So to calibrate the algorithm and so on, you need this expert knowledge, this domain knowledge. And if you look to artificial intelligence algorithm, which you get from maybe from US or China, or Asia in general, it's maybe on this autonomous driving topics. Yeah, there are the possibilities that you can use people, I would say from the street, 200 people which are labeling, for example, frame by frame, pedestrians and cars. For sure, you get a strong algorithm, but in a totally different use case. And also in US, if you look to this typical marketing stuff, in the typical sales stuff, I'm quite sure in Amazon and all the other companies, they are far this kind of smart algorithm, but they not have this domain and expert knowledge which we have here in Europe and Germany, about, also in France for sure, about the production of parts of things. And I think that makes also a big difference.
Many thanks, Thomas. Many thanks for your presentation. I put the contact details on Carl, and if audience wants to contact you and a project consortium, please write us a message. Thanks for being here. And